Why do that to me? How dare you? AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no mix. Them big Knicks. What they call them, the fix out here? Yeah. What's up? What's up? Fabian PerspecTV. Respect is so accepted. You heard the intro. They don't like comentario. Subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Are we live?
Ain't no fun when we got the gun.
AllBall, dame dato.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all he had. I'm waiting for him to talk about that. That's all. Let's go.
Listen, man. It starts with let's react to game 1. Knicks beat the Pacers. That's correct. When you know on paper it says Knicks beat the Pacers. We up 1-0. Like it or not, whether the referees got a Knicks jersey underneath or not, whether James Dolan gave him that check or not. 1-0 Knicks up 121-117. We squeaked out a victory. 43 points for Jalen Brunson. He had 21 in the fourth quarter. Dante DiVincenzo with a crazy 3-pointer with 40 seconds remaining. That was crazy on the wing. Key turnover, almost a turnover by Jalen Brunson, where he tried to pass the ball to I think it was DiVincenzo at the top of the key or
It was DiVincenzo.
And then forgot Naismith, and one of them hit the ball with his hands. Naismith hit the ball with his hands. The referees called it football. What do you call that? Football? Kickball.
Act like you've been here before. Kickball.
And you can't reverse that on a call that's for the coaches. Everyone's complaining about the calls, saying the fix is in for the Knicks. Are we live, Mr. Flea, worldwide? What you think, man? Is the fix in?
Like I said, it ain't no fun when we got the gun. You know, we've been on the other end of some tough calls. Like any other team has been on the other end of tough calls. I understand that it's a different magnitude now because gambling is so prevalent, right? It's not something that is underground anymore, right? Everybody has a gambling app on their phone. Everybody is engaged in gambling on these games, right? So I understand from that perspective why people may think the fix is in. But the fact still remains, we did a little more than they did to win the game, right? A call can go left, a call could go right. At the end of the day, we did more to win that game. If Jalen Brunson doesn't have the fourth quarter that he has, we struggle to win that game. If we don't defend the way we did in the last 5 minutes of that game, we don't win that game. There's so many other factors on why we came out victorious. So I'm not gonna act like those calls weren't important. Was that screen that Miles Turner set a bang call? Absolutely. That call can go either way. That can be a no call. That could just be a really great scheme. I want my big to set a screen like that. I want him to set a screen like that. But if in fact we get in a position where we're on the other side of it, we get that call. Obviously Dante did his great, did some acting on that, and we get you sell it, you get the call. So I'm happy with the outcome, but I'm not gonna act like there weren't a bunch of other reasons why we won that game last night. And I'm a Knicks fan. If we're on the good side of a blessing, I'll take it.
Oh boy, dame dato.
Like I said, Flea, we was earlier on live, and my whole agenda today was I'm not gonna let nobody take that win away from us. All morning, that's all I've been hearing about is the bad calls. There's been bad calls throughout the series. Look at all the bad calls that went against us in Philly. They let Embiid run amok in game 3. Look at the bad calls last night with the Minnesota-Denver. The coach runs on the court, yells, doesn't get a tech. Jamal Murray throws something twice, doesn't get a tech. So let's not act like there isn't bad calls throughout the series this season and throughout NBA history. But I'm going to say this. We got a little bit of home cooking for once. all season, I'm talking about for probably the last 4 or 5 years, we couldn't get no calls in our home. Now that we have a superstar, we playing at this level, things are going our way. But once again, what does that have to do with Indiana Pacers superstar Tyrese Halliburton scoring 6 points, 0 points in the fourth quarter? See, they tend to forget that, fellas. Once again, you're not going to win no basketball games, especially in the playoffs, if your best player only scores 6 points and only dishes out 8 assists when he's probably dishing out between 12 to 15 of those. So for me, instead of me feeding into the bad calls by the refs, I got to give our Knicks a great thumbs up for sticking it out and quote what my guy Brunson said. We just figure out ways to win. We don't give up, no matter if the call is in our favor or against us. And normally it's against us. Mm-hmm. So it's not our fault that Rick Carlisle did a bad coaching job yesterday and didn't keep that young man what's his name? McConnell?
TJ McConnell.
Right. Who was giving us fits in the first half. Mm-hmm. So, right. Jalen Brunson hit big shot after big shot last night. Down 5, he comes down, hit a 3. But it was just, I watched him just beat Indiana by himself, and then Devin Chisel, Josh Hart, just a collective OG. So for me, people are going to try to take away from what we did yesterday. But I'm not going to allow them to do that. Brunson, 4 games in a row, 40 ball. In one game, he had 39. It would have been 5. So to me, that's the story. And big shout out to Shannon Sharp. And that's what he said. He said, no, what about stopping Brunson for having 21 in the fourth quarter? Devin Chisel, 15 in the third. Josh Hart getting rebound after rebound after rebound. So for me, like I said, man, bad calls. Refs missed some calls. But to me, that wasn't the game. Was it pivotal moments? Yes. But Indiana, listen, we kept fighting. We didn't give up. It was a time we was down 9. My head was down. I'm like, all right, here we go. But we kept fighting. So for me, my headline is Knicks never give up. We continue to scratch, fight, and claw. And the game is not over against the Knicks until that clock is 0 and you up 1 or however many points. As long as it's time on the clock, our Knicks is always going to fight. And to me, that should be the story.
I know I don't know if y'all get tired of me comparing basketball to football, and especially wrestling, because everybody wants to compare and act like this is the referees making sure that the Knicks win.
Hilarious.
That's great.
Twitter is great.
That's great.
That's great for that.
That was dope.
That was good.
They go crazy. And I think, like you guys said, man, they always miss calls. Not the Detroit game, the Houston game that they missed a huge call against us. People say they made up for it.
I was in the I was in the building for that one. That one was tough. That
drove me crazy.
That was a tough one.
And look at this call from last night as well. You just somehow forget about this one where the ball went off of the ref gave the ball. Yeah, the pace with 22 seconds left when it clearly should have been Knicks' ball. The ball bounces off of.
Oh, but no, we got
that call back.
We got it back, but we needed to use a timeout. And in critical moments, you can't use a timeout. That's crazy. Nobody's talking about that. Is the whole point. And we could break down the game.
That was a big one. Pause.
Yeah. But Tom Thibodeau was beefing about that to the referee. Like, yo, y'all supposed to review that easily. Y'all made us waste a timeout. Yeah, great point.
Exactly.
I would say this though, and I, we got to win the game in between the lines, and I mean with the basketball, right? The refs are gonna do what they gonna do. The refs are gonna do what they're gonna do, and at some point we got to do things to overcome what we're dealing with referees, and that goes for both teams, right? Like we could spend a bunch of time on what calls didn't go our way, what calls didn't go out. Like I'm watching last night, and there was some egregious stuff they was missing. I'm talking about.
But before we before we get to the play, I just want to finish the whole topic about referees and what it means to people. And like that's why I compare it to wrestling. It's like, bro, things are just in the script. Like Shaq and them, I don't care what anybody says. We were there live in it. Shaq and them got calls that were ridiculous. That's infamous what happened with the Tim Donaghy dude and everything. And Sacramento getting all those calls. How do you think the Spurs feel and the Kings feel back then? But you still got to play the game. Like this is what happens. Also, what I'm telling Knicks fans all the time, we're so used to not even getting these calls for something that even matters. This really matters because now we're in the second round, so there's more at stake. So yeah, everybody's on Twitter complaining about it, but we ain't used to being in this position because now guess what? As much as we say they hate on us, we know for a fact they're hating on us because they get clicks for it. They like to be wrong about us now because they know the whole fan base is gonna come back and clap back at them. So this is what happens when you can be the most valuable franchise and not even win a damn thing. So what happens when we do start winning, when we do start giving you more commercial money, ad money, and all that? That's what's happening right now. So yeah, the fix is in. It is what it is, bro. I don't care about none of that. This is what happens when you have a real superstar. Your man Tyrese Halliburton, who I covered it. I love Tyrese Halliburton, but you ain't showing up. He's hurt or whatever it is. Jalen Brunson's a star, and they want to see that boy in the conference finals. So yeah, you up against the ref. Tough luck, bro. It happened with Shaq. It happened with Mike. We lived throughout. Mike got mad calls. Oakley's his man, his right-hand man. It will tell you. Now they gave him crazy calls, and we had to deal with that because he's the man. But at the end of the day, we give him his props. You still got to play ball, like you about to get into, Flea.
Yeah.
What's all that about? In between the lines now, I got several issues about what happened yesterday. I'm pretty sure you want to get into that.
I mean, I just think that the fourth quarter was really telling for us, right? Jalen Brunson had a hell of a game, 43 points. I think our three guys really had great game. Our Nova Knicks, as they call them, right? Josh Hart was everywhere. He did literally everything you needed him to do, in terms of affecting winning plays. He did everything. I'm gonna quote him, on saying what he said. And it wasn't last night. It was just maybe a couple games ago, I think during the Philly series. But he just said to Mitchell Robinson, Josh Hart, I grab rebounds that kill teams, right? And that's such a great quote. Like, it's not about a big shot all the time, although he does that. It's not about a big stop all the time, although he can do that too. But that rebound that you wish that you got, right, to secure a defensive rebound, to secure another possession. He just finds his way. You don't box him out. You don't put a body on him. He grabs an offensive rebound, and we get another 24 seconds to get a great shot, right? And I just think that's what tipped the scale for us yesterday is all of the intangibles. We hit shots, yes. We could not run with them. I got on live last night with two, and and we were doing a lot of celebrating, but where I saw cause to pause was that, when those kids are getting up and down the floor, when Halliburton is pushing it, when TJ McConnell comes in the game and pushes pace, he wants to get the first available basket. Then, okay, we'll look at what we could get in the half court. But when they push the pace, it's tough for us to get our defense set. And we're a good team who gets stops on the defensive end when you're trying to get into your stuff. But when you get in on the secondary break and getting those quick, easy buckets, we look like we struggled a lot. And I want to, put an emphasis on us being able to slow them down and allow us to play at our pace. Don't play at their pace. We can't run with them kids. I'm sorry. But when we slow the thing down, when we get the good shots, when we, give up a good shot to get a great shot, start moving the ball, all of that kind of stuff, I love how we look. So big shout out to us last night. We grinded it out and we up 1-0. I like where we at.
Great. Both of y'all make great points. I want to talk about us not taking care of the ball in pivotal moments of the game. Jalen Brunson has a tendency of just throwing the ball away. Tibbs may have to start bringing in Deuce McBride when it's a minute or two on offense just to have another ball handler out there. Because I do not like Josh Hart or DiVincenzo with the ball, especially if they're getting pressed. And for some reason, like I said, Brunson at the end of games, man, it's just he gets discombobulated or something. I don't know what it is. So for me, turning the ball over, we have to take care of the basketball. I have no problem with nothing else. but we have to take care of the ball. Brunson hit all his free throws yesterday. That was huge. Josh Hart may have missed a couple, but yesterday we was great at the free throw line. So for me, Fabe, as long as we hit our free throws and we take care of the basketball, I don't mind how we win or lose. I don't see us getting blown out because we're never going to give up, but we have to take care of the basketball. Brunson basically turned the ball over 3 times in less than a minute in the fourth quarter down the stretch. That cannot happen. I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know what it is, but that cannot happen. So I hope Tibbs understands that. And maybe at the end of the game, if we're up, don't worry about rebounding. Worry about not turning the ball over. So maybe Deuce going to have to get into that rotation if we're up and there's 2-3 minutes left, just to have somebody help with the ball handling. Because I'm not going to lie. Turnover after turnover. Then even when he got trapped and he tried to throw the ball off of, I think, Halliburton, and then it hit him out of bounds, I'm just like, yo, what is going on?
That's costly.
Yes.
That's costly.
So that's what scares me more than anything. Free throws and us taking care of the basketball.
Oh, shout out to Kristen Castillo.
Big
Super
shout out.
chat, $10. The big 3.
Thank you.
They slept on the squad and now they're looking for excuses. No gimmicks. This is what a team with a culture and max effort looks like. Brunson Burner is activated. Correct.
Big body Brunson. You heard?
And you see your man Jay Williams, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's flip-flopping every single day. Yeah, man, it's not mine. Dookie. That was a double entendre, Flea.
Yeah, heard you. Leave it, but leave the rapping to the rappers. I know you're getting caught up. I know you're getting caught up.
Yeah, man, straight Dookie. Get out of here. So, I don't like how OG's playing. I think Siakam is
drunk. You're drunk. Why? Why you don't like the way OG playing?
Well, I'm saying Siakam's doing his thing on him, man. He was giving them problems yesterday on the offensive end. Defensively, I think it's tough. It's not his fault defensively. This defensively, I don't like. It's not. It's the pace that we're playing at. We keep trying to catch up to them. I mean, he had a crazy play at the end of the game. OG with that's like a 4-point turnaround. I guess he had the steal and a cat like a cat on a baseline. That was amazing. But we don't have a guy. This is again when we talk about we always revert back to missing Julius Randle, and part of the reason why is because he gets free throws. And I think something that's never talked about is when you're at the free throw line, that's like a 20-second timeout, essentially. So Jalen Brunson gets to talk to Thibodeau a little bit, and everybody else gets to talk to each other, but you're in control of these free throws, and we're missing that. On top of that, we don't have anyone that slows the game down. Like Brunson, they force him to slow the game down. We don't have a guy that we actually are controlling to slow the game down, and you need that against the Pacers. And I'm not sure like how you really do that. I'm not saying I'm that much of a genius. I'm just reacting to what I see. That would be the question I propose to like y'all. Like, all right, how can we do this? Because I know Hartenstein is tough. He has that little floater, but it doesn't really create a foul. It's more finesse than it is power. So how do we get more stoppage? Because I don't like playing at this pace.
I would say this. I jumped out there saying you was drunk, but not giving you an opportunity to talk because as
usual.
Because I enjoyed what I saw from OG, especially in the second half of the game. So I understand what you're saying, but I will say this: he is going to be forced to be more aggressive. I saw some things on, out there, in terms of the Knicks community, things that were said, and apparently Tibbs wants him to be more aggressive this series on the offensive end. So that is going to cause us to be, a little more slowed down, looking for him to not just be a guy that spots up in the corners and not a guy. He hit a top of the key 3 the other night, in game 1 last night. That was huge, right? It was a huge shot. But what I'm saying is if you find ways to get him the ball, not in isolation, he's not going to break you down off the dribble, but getting him cutting, right? What did I say earlier in the season? When he moves off the ball and he makes cuts to the basket, whether he's cutting back door, whether he's going over the screen, anything toward the rim for him is all good work for us. It's all good work. And I think if we focus more on that for him this series. He didn't get a lot of that last series, and I don't think he was really asked to do that. He had a huge defensive assignment last series, trying to deal with Maxey, trying to deal with Embiid, right? This series, I don't think we're going to need him to be, sensational on a defensive end. What he's doing right now, playing that free safety like he's been doing, he caught a couple steals last night that was like, yes, I needed that, OG. Like, we needed that stop. So if he, focuses on being a little bit more aggressive on the offense, I hear what you're saying, Fabian. If he forces Siakam to play defense, force Obi. It seems like Carlisle likes to put Obi in the game. He has a little bit of confidence in that kid. Force him to play defense. I don't think he can defend yet. Force him to play defense. So, if OG is a little more aggressive defensively, I think that'll create more of a Nick pace for us, and we don't have to get in that, in that track meet with the Pacers.
Well, for me, I don't have no problem with how OG played yesterday. Let me explain. For one, Siakam had some good baskets, but I don't even think Siakam had 20. OG couple times was aggressive going to the basket, couple layups, couple times he lost the ball but got stuck. My thing is this: we got to remember, even in Toronto, OG, I don't look for OG to come and give us 20 plus. I look for OG to be a lockdown defender, get key steals. Like it was a play where Halliburton was going to the basket and out of nowhere, OG get the steal. Then, like you said, he did the ballerina dance on the sideline. Boom. I also look for him when he's wide open, knock down a shot. I like when he's around that free throw area. He knocks those down. The corner, the top of the three. So for me, as long as OG can give us between 15 and 20 and be aggressive, but also knock down open shots and take on the defensive assignments where you guard the best player, and if they averaging 30, if you can hold them to 23, 24. So I look for OG to do that. I have no problem with yesterday. There was a couple plays where I'm like, God damn, but let's not forget Siakam pause is long, and Siakam is skilled.
Yeah,
so I don't expect
I don't
expect OG to lock everybody down, but I think he did a hell of a job, and I think his presence is very big out there. And I think people is underestimating his presence. He may not score a lot, but think about it. We don't need him to. He's a silent assassin. He's going to get the steal, he's going to get the block, and he's going to hit the big shot when you least expect it. So yesterday, maybe he could have played better, but like I said, I have no problem with how OG looked yesterday, because that was the first time in a while I seen him attempting to get his own shot, getting the ball at the wing, going to the basket. He get the open shot, he was taking. So I have no problem with OG yesterday.
I seen it against Philly.
I think
that top of the key. I don't know if it's because I confused the pick and roll, like the Spain pick and roll, and like he would go that free throw shot was there all day because Embiid kept what's that called, sagging into the paint, and they kept
drop coverage.
They kept end up having enough room by the free throw line for Siakam. I mean, for OG to hit that shot, to take that shot. I don't expect that because, again, oh yeah, shout out to Rick Carlisle too. Unlike you Pacer fans over here bitching and moaning about nothing. He was in the press conference. He said, yo, I don't expect to get calls in the Garden. We on the road, man. Like, it is what it is. And he kept it pushing. Again, I respect him because he's coming in there like a war general. He ain't making no excuses. He's coming in there. I like the kid Isaiah Jackson. He plays big.
Can I hold on? Can I respond to that, please? I have a different take on that. I don't like that he said that.
Why?
Because I want to believe the refs missed the call. Like I'm being honest. I don't want to think because we're home, we're getting those calls. So now maybe you playing some type of mind game. And now when y'all in Indiana, that's just my opinion, brother. That's all I'm saying. But I don't like that he said it.
But that's a veteran coach that's a championship level coach. That's a guy who's been in the trenches, been to the finals a couple times. He's in the throes of competition. He can't get on the floor, right? He can't do a damn thing about it on the floor. He got a young team. He's got to find a way to control something. And saying that, I mean, I hate what you're saying, OG, but he got to do that, right? Like he's got to do that, or else he's not sticking up for his team. He's gonna leave his team dead in the water.
But I don't think he's about sticking up for his team. I think that's about next game, next play. All right, I'm not talking about that again. That's, to me, it wasn't no like what This Nick Nurse, what he did last series, that was some chump shit, bro. Let's knock it off. Like Nick Nurse, you over there crying. That's why the rest of them crying. No wonder Joel Embiid's still crying. Everybody's crying about nothing, bro. No, y'all weren't supposed to win. Ain't no way supposed to win. Carlisle's going into it thinking, oh no, we could win. In spite of the referees. So again, we talked about it yesterday, old boy. That guy ain't no joke, man. Like you said, Flea, championship style coach. Been in plenty of conference finals. He's into the throw. He don't care. He doesn't care who you are. Going back to Pat Riley and Spoelstra and these guys. I don't care who you are. I'm gonna tell you what to your face what you about. I like that approach. And he's unapologetic about having the kid Isaiah Jackson. All these, even playing Obi Toppin the way that he does, because he eventually benched him. He had him started at the beginning of the year. But to have these long guys and play their style, they're just not gonna. They didn't get away from who they were. Starting lineup, bench. I want to see. We can't have a 7-man rotation. I know, Flea, you were saying Mitchell Robinson's going to miss game 2. I think that another counter to this would be we got to have maybe Sims out there or Chua. Alec Burks, he's going to have to make an appearance, bro, because let's not hide from the fact that this ain't no tough defense. Why not have one of our, I don't want to call him a bum, but one of our low level players get into the game and see if we get into a groove or something. This ain't the Philadelphia 76ers having to deal with Embiid and Nick Nurse and the old Oubre and Batum. I don't see them out there. They're long, but I don't see the OG and Anunoby on that side. Siakam, yeah, but apart from that, let's see if Alec Burks can get it going.
Yeah, I think he needs to. I think this would be the series that he needs to open up the rotation just a little bit. Like I said, they're gonna force us at certain points of the game to get up and down the floor, and you're gonna have to get into that bench and use guys, and just to be able to get up and down, be able to defend, like you said, hit an open shot, be a professional. It's the playoffs. Get out there and be able to contribute to the basketball team. Alec Burks is a seasoned vet, so I think you could trust him enough to put him in a game to be able to get a stop or to be able to hit a shot if we're cold. He can't stick to this 7-man rotation and think like we're going to get to the conference finals, and if we see Boston be able to stay in it now. We got to open it up. We got to be at bodies. We got to have bodies to throw out there, you know what I'm saying, to even stay in certain series, because we just lack, the talent that some teams have.
Well, I'm being honest, fellas. Love y'all like brothers. Well, love y'all. Y'all my brothers. I respectfully disagree. I have no problem with him with the 7-man rotation. He's doing what he has to do to win ball games. Let's not forget Deuce hasn't had a big game yet. Deuce is coming off the bench, and he's kind of not playing up to his potential. Precious Achiuwa seen a little bit of light yesterday, but I have no problem with him with the 7-man rotation. I'm being honest with you. Burks is not built for this. It's just plain and simple. At this point, I gotta believe Tibbs. He sees them in practice. He's close up watching them at the games, and he's doing what he has to do to win ball games. Once again, this year, he has to deal with what he has to deal with. Now, next year, once Randall is healthy, Mitch is healthy, we don't know what's going to happen with Boggs and what's your man name? We just said his name, Burks.
Mm-hmm.
So, we got to remember that as well, Sims and things of that nature. I get what y'all saying, but if we got to go 7-man rotation to get the win, to get the playoff series win, I'm all for it, my brothers, because when we sit Brunson down, we can go from a 5-point deficit to 15 like this. So I understand, we don't want to run our guys into the ground, but it looked like those guys are still young. It looked like they're still having fun. Like I said, at times they seem a little fatigued, but it doesn't stop them on offense, because Lord have mercy, Brunson hits big shot after big shot after big shot. So maybe he is fatigued, because I see him throw the ball away a lot in the games, but I disagree with y'all. I think Tibbs is doing the best he can, and he understands, hey, man, I'm going with my guys, and this is what it is. He gives Deuce a shot. Deuce fumbles the bag. Okay, I can't put you in the game. He gives Precious Achiuwa a shot. Remember, that margin is real small. That window is small. If I put you in the game for 5 minutes and you looking like you don't know what you're doing out there, oh no, come on. because this ain't a regular season game. I'm gonna ride my guys till the wheel fall off. So I understand what y'all saying, and I can be wrong, but I respectfully disagree. I have no problem with Tibbs with the 7-man rotation.
I have a problem with seven-man rotation. The Alec Burks point you made though is that is the key. Like again, going back to the Randall not being here, man. That is, I can't front on that point though. How wrong has Tibbs been about his players, bro? I mean, people could point to RJ Barrett in Toronto, how he's having a crazy season out there, but that's a different lineup, and they're not winning games. So, and again, he didn't fit with Randall, but that's the only guy people could really point to, and that really wasn't Tibbs' fault because he told him to stay in the gym. But I just want to at least try Alec Burks to give Brunson a break, and he's 6'6". McBride and Brunson are smaller. Like these guys, at least he's able to. Because I don't really care for Alec Burks whatsoever. By the way, this is a struggle for me to even say, and I don't even feel like pushing the point for Alec. That's how much I don't care for his game. I don't want to see him out there, but I think going back to the original point against Nick Nurse, Flea, how is Tibbs going to make this guy think? Because I don't know if Carlisle sees Alec Burks at the scoreboard and starts laughing to himself either. You know what I'm saying? But is there ways he can make him think?
Well, I think I think Carlisle outcoached himself last night. Like he outcoached himself into an L last night. He should have played TJ McConnell a lot more, right? He went with his guy, which I don't see in the playoffs. I don't see how you turn your back against the guy who kind of got you there. And Halliburton, he's been great all season long, but he was clearly struggling yesterday. He clearly couldn't find his shot yesterday. We clearly, made him work for a lot of the things that he wanted to get to yesterday. And TJ McConnell pushed pace. He put pressure on the defense the whole time he was in the game. He hit tough shots. He got around the rim in the paint. Like when you do things like that, especially against us, when you get to the second level of our defense and you start making Mitch work and you start making Hartenstein work, that's when we get into trouble, right? And so whether that's getting into foul trouble, whether that's putting guys on the line, slowing the game down, all of that kind of stuff. And so I don't think at this juncture right now, we're up 1-0. Obviously, you got to look at film. You got to see where you got to be better. But at this point, I feel like, we can roll with the Tibbs of old and him reacting to what other coaches is doing. I don't think he needs to make any too many adjustments. Like I said, I still feel like, he needs to trust his guys and open up the rotation just a little bit. We are down one of our best players in Randall. Mitch is in and out of the lineup. Like we got to understand that, we got to play some other guys because, we can't rely on, our second best player. He ain't here. And Mitchell Robinson's in and out of the lineup. So, I don't know. I don't think Tibbs needs to do much different in terms of the approach.
Well, just real quick, me to cut y'all off. Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, 4 times. So they just announced that he got Defensive Player of the Year, Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert.
You think he deserves it?
I mean, when you look at the candidates, yes. Yeah, he averages. I mean, Anthony Davis probably should have got it or at least got some high consideration. But, I just feel, just to not veer off, Rudy Gobert said something a couple weeks ago that I agree with. People don't like him. He's not cool. He's not fun, I guess. I don't know. He's European, but he changes the game defensively. He can be clumsy. People will call him whatever they want to call him. And what he's doing right now with the Minnesota Timberwolves, where people thought this was a horrendous trade, they thought it wouldn't work, and you see what he does at the rim as far as defending the rim. Listen, I don't have no problem with him getting it, to be honest with you. I don't even see how Bam Adebayo was a candidate and Anthony Davis wasn't. So this whole thing is screwed up.
Yeah. I like Bam now. Y'all know how I feel about Bam. So I think Bam is always going to be a guy that's going to be considered one of the better defenders in the league. But like I said, I absolutely thought Anthony Davis should have been in high consideration to win the award this year. The Lakers look night and day, when he's on the floor in terms of defense. When he's on the floor, they are a pretty damn good defensive team, and when he's not, they're dog shit. So he should have got way more consideration. Wemby as a rookie, to the way he affected, guys coming to the rim, guys getting in the paint, being
Yeah.
active around the basket. So I understand his consideration.
Yeah.
But Gobert, what he does with this Minnesota Timberwolves team, right? There are a lot of guys on that team to defend, but he's the anchor of the best defense in the NBA. So I fully understand why he's won it. It's amazing. I want to give a shout out to Tim Connolly. Tim Connolly is the GM for the Minnesota Timberwolves. This dude was the architect of the current Denver Nuggets right now. So he built the Denver Nuggets that are currently playing right now.
Right.
He has gone over to Minnesota and built a team to beat the Denver Nuggets. It's a beautiful thing
Great point.
to watch.
Great point.
It's a beautiful thing to watch how he's constructed the Minnesota Timberwolves to have 3 athletic bigs to throw at Joker. Joker looks perplexed right now. He looks perplexed, right?
Yeah.
He looks like he's trying to figure out and he's a great player, so I'm sure he's going to figure it out. But they're throwing so many different looks at him. Naz Reid is the extra aggressive dude. Gobert is his height or even taller. He challenges everything. Cat is just real athletic, can move his feet, make him work. So like everything that he gets, whatever look they throw at him, he's working extremely hard to get to the things he likes to get to. And now he's even turning this shit over. I watched him have like some really uncharacteristic turnovers last night, all because he looks sped up and he looks rushed. So big shout out to Tim Connolly for constructing the Nuggets and now figuring out a way how to beat them, because this is some fun stuff. I like this series.
And shout out to your man JJ Redick, rumored to be a Lakers head coach. He has a vote in Defensive Player of the Year.
Can I?
Huh?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound.
Yeah.
I sound messed up.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So it's legit that JJ Redick is actually going to be the Lakers head coach?
I don't know. Maybe it's me. I'm gonna jump out. I'll be right back.
How about? Oh, I sound you.
You sound good. Go ahead, say something.
I wasn't speaking.
Yeah. You sound bad now. Say something now.
Yo, 1 2.
That's good right there.
So what the hell? I did hear a sound earlier. Now I was gonna make fun of him because I was gonna say, shout out to JJ Redick because he got he votes. I mean, Shaq was making fun of him. Shaq was like, "Yo, how do you get votes and I don't? MVP votes and all that." And now he's rumored to be a Lakers head coach. Rumored to be. He's also got votes. He can vote for the MVP and he can vote for Defensive Player of the Year. All defensive. He votes all defensive. And in his top first and second teams, Anthony Davis is not on there. So that'll be interesting if he gets the Lakers job and he gets to coach AD and he's Mr. No Agenda. But
big shout to Tim Hardaway. Flea sent me a post, and listen, man, that Lakers thing is a mess over there. That could be for a whole nother day, but that shit is going down in flames.
They tired. They tired. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, they're tired of that situation.
But to end the award thing, just like with the Lakers, it's a mess. To me, the last couple of years has been like the Joker deserves his MVPs. Don't get me wrong, but last year's MVP was crazy. The Defensive Player of the Year awards. Even last year, I think who won? Not Brook Lopez. Was it Triple J?
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
That's like up in the air too. Like Goldberg, even Goldberg winning. I think the whole thing with that is real quick. It doesn't feel right because it doesn't feel like he is what we've seen typically from that kind of style. But he does make an impact, like you say. But when he comes to the game, it's a hot mess out there. Like you could tell, we got a game plan for this. They got a game plan him out of the game also. And I always say this: ever since the Jeremy Lin thing, people would talk about him. I said, bro, I ain't never seen nobody game plan for Raymond Felton. They game plan for Jeremy Lin at the end of the day. You got a game plan for Rudy Gobert. You got to, where's he at on the court? You have to game plan. So I ain't no hater. And Bam is super tough. That whole system just seems like the Lakers organization. It's a hot mess over there just to vote for who rightfully should win.
Well, I mean, go ahead, Flea.
No, I'm just saying, nobody blinked the eye when Mutombo won multiple Defensive Player of the Years. Nobody blinked the eye when Zoe won multiple Defensive Player of the
Right.
Years. Neither did they do with
Did
Ben Wallace
Ben Wallace, exactly.
or Dwight Howard, right? When those guys who just affect the game, blocking shots, deterring shots, patrolling the paint, all of those guys did a lot of the same similar things on why they got recognition to be the best defensive player of the year. So when Gobert does the same thing, right, or something similar, he gets all this backlash, right?
Yeah.
Even amongst his peers, right? You see Draymond Green talking about he's not trash anymore. I mean, I don't even think the dude was ever trash. I just think he was
Exactly.
he was just an easy target, and now we could shoot at him because dude is not going to stand up for himself. He's happy to be here. I'm happy to be here, y'all. I'm happy to be in the NBA. I'm happy that y'all have allowed me into this space and allowed me to be, one of the best basketball players in the world. So I ain't really going to talk too much, but like, cut it out, man. Like, he
Yeah,
deserves it.
Yeah, but my thing is, great point, both of y'all. And I'm glad that you said, with the Draymond Green thing. And it's like, if you notice lately, Gobert has been standing up for himself. He's been quoted saying some things, but this is why I don't mind him getting the award, because he takes his craft serious. I don't see no Marcus Smarts no more, the Draymond Greens. Like, I don't see the Kawhi Leonards. There's none of that no more. These guys, like the wing guys, the guards, nobody's taking defense serious. So, listen, man, I have no problem what happened.
Nah, that comment is funny
Salvatore
as hell.
said, Flea looks like he's pimping pumpkins out here. He got that blue and orange wave, man.
You gotta
Come on,
love it.
man.
You gotta
Come
love
on,
it,
man. Come
man.
on.
You gotta love it.
I'm gonna rock my Knicks colors, baby. What he sounded like a
That's right.
traffic light.
A traffic cone at the club. Hold on, that's crazy. A traffic cone at the club is original. That's original.
That was good.
So, we gotta at least pick at one of these guys at the top. Pow! All these big-headed monsters, no Diddy at the top. Stephen A. Smith is back at it again, talking nonsense. The fake Knicks fan himself, exhibit 30,000. Here he is talking like
he's never allowed in the club. He's never allowed in the club.
Kendrick better slow up too. We don't want him here, bro. Chill out. We just let you in. Do not bring him in here as your +1. It's not happening. We will put the banana peel on that carpet. Relax.
Numbers wise, okay, you can look at Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson. It's a conversation. Here's where it gets elevated, Shay. Joel Embiid was hurt. If Joel Embiid was healthy, what are we thinking would have happened between the Sixers and the Knicks? Okay? I would say, hey, I still think the Knicks would have beat him if they had Julius Randle. Okay, so I get that. But Joel Embiid being compromised certainly matters. Then we've got to take into account Anthony Edwards and what he did. You still need some help for Brunson. But you look at Anthony Edwards in Minnesota, and right now you're like, well, what exactly is it that they need if this brother continues to look this way? Numbers wise, okay.
I guess that was in reference to who's been looking more impressive in the postseason, Anthony Edwards or Jalen Brunson. I guess what's your guys' reaction to that? What you heard, and what's his reasons for why Edwards Ant-Man is more impressive than Jalen Brunson in the postseason?
Well, just real quick, I'm gonna respond because I seen it earlier, and it's like, I don't understand Stephen A. Smith no more. I'm just being honest. It's like you're a diehard Knicks fan, but then Joel Embiid played the whole series. Nobody said nothing when he had a 50 ball. When they won game 3, everybody turned on the Knicks and said the Knicks is going to lose the series. So miss me with Joel Embiid was healthy. Who cares? He was healthy when he had 50. Listen, man, we have to start understanding Joel Embiid is never healthy, even when he is healthy. That's no excuse no more. He's never in shape. He's always going to fade out and get gassed out in series. This has been his whole career.
Great point.
So I do not like that Stephen A and everybody else uses all these excuses when it comes to our Knicks. As great as Ant-Man is playing, Brunson is more impressive. I'm sorry. It's not because I'm a Knicks fan. He's doing it with less. He's damn near a foot smaller. It's just more impressive to me. Ant-Man is great. Listen, I was dead wrong about Ant-Man. I said he was good. I didn't see him being this great, being the face. I said you got to win a playoff series. He's won a playoff series, so I was dead wrong about that. But this has nothing to do with Ant-Man. This has something to do with everybody trying to rain on our parade. Stop making it. We don't need no excuses. We beat Philadelphia with a former MVP, a former championship head coach, and a budding superstar Tyrese Maxey. Let's cut the jokes. Mitchell Robinson is hurt. We playing a 7-man rotation. Julius Randle is hurt. So don't even bring none of that up. So for me, Steve Nash just being the fraud, flip-floppy guy he is. And at this point, I don't even want to hear him say nothing about the Knicks. Like, get out of here, bro. Like, real talk. Get out of here.
So I'll say this. If we're talking about who's been greater, that's tough. That's tough for me because I love Jalen Brunson. I love what he's done for us all season. But if we're talking about the playoffs, those first 2 games, Jalen Brunson struggled heavily. We won those 2 games, but he struggled heavily. We've played 7 games. He has not been as efficient as he was in the regular season. You expect to up your level when you get to the playoffs. 40, he's dropping 40 balls, but he hasn't been as efficient.
Hold on, I gotta stop you. After those first 2 games, the last 5 games, 39 and 40 plus in the next 5.
Yeah. But that don't have nothing to do with his shooting percentages. He's putting the ball in the basket. I love it. I'm happy with where we at. But we're talking about who's been better. Anthony Edwards swept Phoenix. Phoenix swept them all season long. Anthony Edwards did not beat Phoenix one time this season. When it counted the most, he was the best player on the floor, and Phoenix didn't win a game in that series. He's going up against the team that knocked him out of the playoffs last year in Denver, and he went to their crib and took 2. Right? So, I will never go against Jalen Brunson, but I'm not about to act like Anthony Edwards does not deserve the credit that he's been receiving right now for the things that he's been doing, right? He is putting everybody on notice, right? He's got more, 1,000%. But the degree of difficulty in terms of the teams that he was going up against on the last 6 games, he hasn't lost a game yet. He got Kevin Durant, Book, Beal the hell out of here. He broke them up. You won't ever see them again together again. Ever. We won't ever see them ever. He's got Jamal Murray throwing heating pads from the bench, right? He's got Joker looking around. Like, this kid is, as a 22-year-old, is putting the NBA on notice, the Western Conference specifically right now on notice. Jalen Brunson's a dog. So to answer the question, I'm sorry, I can't. It's a toss-up right now. Both guys have been great. So tough for me.
I gotta thoroughly disagree with Flea. Ain't no way possible. We ain't talking about who's better. So I think anybody in their right mind right now, Ant-Man's on fire, so I can understand with the confusion. But more impressive, he's shooting 50% after the first 2 games. Number 1. Number 2, who's he going up against? His competition versus Ant-Man's competition. The Phoenix Suns? Who they dealing up against? They been getting smoked up and down. Now, if Brunson in this series, when he scores averages 45 a game, I can see that. I can see if you were telling me that. It's the Pacers. They don't play defense. Phoenix ain't playing no damn defense. What Ant-Man was doing there, he's shooting 55%. You're supposed to shoot 55% against them. They suck. Props to you and your squad, because it's your squad that swept them, not just you, Ant-Man. But Goldberg sit down, and they're still winning games.
They didn't beat Phoenix one time this year.
That's fine.
Minnesota didn't beat Phoenix one time this year. So the point I was saying is that you could say they suck, but if they suck so bad, they would have got a W at some point against them this year.
No, I'm talking about defense. What is Ant-Man up against? We're talking about them offensively deep. Their game in the playoffs so far. What he's up against with the Phoenix Suns was not what Jalen Brunson was up against with the 76ers targeting him with Oubre, with Batum, a litany of defenders, a defensive strategy on him. Ant-Man has the leeway to have Cat over there and McDaniels and Goldberg to feed the ball to, and Nas Reed, solids, all 6'10" and up. Brunson ain't got that. So we talking about who's more impressive. I'm more impressed with Brunson, what Brunson has done. Regardless of who you think is better, it's more impressive for me to be 6'2", drop 40, and the only people in my category 4 straight games is Mike and Oscar Robertson. I gotta go with Jalen, and that's not a home team thing. That's damn. If it was Ant-Man, I would have given him his props. I love Ant-Man. You saw how I said last week. He's proving it again. They smoked Denver without their big man, defensive player of the year. They got a 6th man of the year. Is he the 6th man of the year, Nas Reed?
Yeah.
What? This guy might get coach of the year now.
Tough.
It's in the making now.
OKC dude, he won that already.
Yeah.
So, but is defensive player of the year 6 man? That's what he's working with all season long. Cat was in and out of the lineup, really. But we're talking about right now. Right now, Goldberg's out. Yes, they made up for him. If it wasn't for Ant-Man, they don't win that game. And not just win that game, they blew them out. But we ain't beating the Pacers. We ain't beating the 76ers. We ain't winning nothing without Jalen Brunson. Like, it would be
I agree.
We still won with him those first 2 games against Philly, but it's like we need Brunson to come back. And he's just been, I think what he's done, what he's up against, for him to achieve that, it's been more impressive than Ant-Man. Like, I gotta really vouch for my man for that.
I ain't mad at it. I'm torn because y'all know I love Ant-Man, but I'm a Nick diehard, so it's tough.
But just to finish that off, Paul, what Ant-Man's been doing, spectacular. Listen, man, a young kid is great, and as long as he keep putting that work in, keep that confidence and work on his game, listen, eventually he's going to be the best player in the world. He has that potential. He definitely does.
If I know you, OG, I know that, like, forget his game. I know that you like the way he approaches the game.
I love
it. As a young kid, the approach, the attitude, the competitiveness, I don't want to play with you niggas. Like, I'm going to kill everything. I know you love that about that kid now.
You got to remember, all of us is 40 plus, but we look younger than that. But
I ain't 40 yet, y'all. I'm 37 yesterday.
That's right. Sorry. I didn't mean to throw that on pause. I'm sorry.
I gotta give you that 4th decade, man.
But I know. I'm sorry.
I love it.
But we've all watched the game for years where imagine when there was 10 players that had that mindset. That's what makes the game competitive. What Ant-Man is doing, I'm hoping next year it rubs off on a lot of these other players and they understand, we can be fine and dandy off the court and social media, you my favorite player, but on the court, I want to guard you, I'm going to talk mess, I'm going to violate you, but at the end of the game, I'm going to hug you, but until the game is over, you are my enemy. And I think that's what the game is missing. That's why I love when Brunson gets an and 1 and he yells at the crowd and he curses. And he tells guys like Cameron Payne, you ain't shit. Get out of here, you bum. I love that because it's not personal. This is what sports is. And in the moment, you my enemy. So yes, Flea, I love what Ant-Man is doing. And I pray and hope. And you know who else got that mentality? I can't wait for him to come back next season. Ja Morant.
Ja. I can't wait. I can't wait to see Ja next year.
Listen, man, I pray and hope that a lot of these young players that's on the come up want to compete and be competitive like this. But Ant-Man is the truth. No knock on Ant-Man. He's the truth.
Two-way player, but this is what I said in mid-season. I didn't know if Ant-Man took that leap skill-wise. That shot that he hit against the Celtics, fellas, when he went to the paint, drawing the defense, and he kicked it out to Conley, I didn't see that from Ant-Man in years past. And if he did, it wasn't this smooth. He's very much in tune with what he's doing. He's still, for me, he shoots way too much from the outside still, but it's just like there's so much confidence oozing from him that it's like he knows what to get to on the court now. He's very dangerous, and he has that you hate the word AllBall, but he got the motor.
He got it.
And to be honest, what I said from the mid-season was, hey, I don't care how good my Knicks are. I don't care how good your Nuggets are. I don't care who your team is. If Ant-Man and Jason Tatum turn it up, it's over for everybody because skill-wise, talent-wise, they got it. If one of them have the motor to turn it up and then all of a sudden get that maturity or whatever it is, they have the team behind them. You can't beat that. To your point, AllBall, we're talking about the best player in the league potentially with that. Tatum is in the same category. I don't want to, kick him while he's down. because Flea's in the building, he's gonna accuse me of comparing and downsiding somebody, but Tatum don't got that. That's what I've been saying about Jason Tatum. He ain't got that. Ant-Man got that. He's just what we always be looking for.
You know why you do that? Because you want Tatum to have that. I know why you say it, because you wish Tatum had that. I know, I understand the comparison. No, I know.
Both line had some other season.
We need to get there and get past that. I'm with you.
But skill-wise, two-way players that compete like this, and then just maybe even do it on your member. Tim Duncan wasn't over here calling people out and doing it. He did it his own way. Tatum, you could be in your own Tai Chi mode, going crazy on people too. But I don't see the motor, and it's there. We see it. Oh my God! From time to time, Ant-Man has it. Ant-Man plays like he's the best in the league. Ant-Man plays like he's the best in the league. And
at 22 years old, fellas, like let's think about this. Let's think about the next. I was gonna say 5 years. Forget 5 years. Let's say the next 3 years. Look at this kid at 25 years old. Everything continues to go well, barring any tough injuries like that. And he just continues to get better. 3 years from now, we're talking about multiple time MVP type of guy. We're talking about multiple time championship type of like that's the type of player that kid is, wherever he's going to be. So this Knicks rehab, we had enough talk about Anthony Edwards. We could get back to put a bow on this Knicks rehab.
Yeah, I mean, we were sneaking our way into a hot topic. That was very slick of Flea and AllBall. Come on, that's what we do up here. We're from New York. He is in Houston, but come on, this is New York blood in this.
Of course, you know that.
Anything else that we want to get off your chest?
Yeah. I just want to ask y'all a quick question before we wrap this up. About to be a big game tonight. I think there's Boston, Cleveland, Oklahoma City, Dallas. I'm looking forward to all of these matchups now.
Yes.
But how can I say this? Because y'all brothers are level-headed. You know me. I'm just a maniac. I jumps out the window.
We need that.
Where do you honestly see this Knicks roster constructed right now? How we playing in the playoffs? What's realistic for us right now? Your opinion. I don't care who goes first. Once again, realistic. Because for me, I'm gonna always jump out the window. I'm going finals. But realistically, with how Tibbs is coaching, with how we got the 7-man rotation, how Brunson is playing, what do you think is the end-all be-all for this season? Realistically. Just being a real basketball fan, not a maniac Knicks fan.
I hate to be a damper, but it's conference finals for me. I don't know if I said, but I know with OG being there, it was like I knew the season wasn't over. I didn't understand that whole craziness. Being a champion at this point, the teams, like I always say, that scared me is if Tatum turns it on, Anthony Edwards turns it on, and then the Mavericks, they just have these from 1 through 5. That the center position is crazy, and then Kyrie and Luka going crazy. It's like easier to game plan against us than the Celtics, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Mavericks for me because of that on offense. And then the 7-man rotation, Tibbs is kind of stubborn for me. I'm seeing a lot right now. He's repeating to me the same mistakes. You gotta adjust, and it's gonna be too. I think finals is tough because we don't have guys that make it easier on defense. OG is doing a lot by himself too. Mitch is lingering. Like I see conference finals realistically for me.
Okay.
When I think about realistic, I think about what we're looking at right now too, and not so much just our team, but the landscape of the league. What it looks like currently right now. And right now, I think we got a great shot at beating Indiana. I think finals is not far-fetched, and I say that because of this. KP is down. We don't know when he's going to come back, and he's not going to be 100% healthy for the remainder of the playoffs, even if he does come back. And a 60% KP, I'm sorry, he ain't a player in the league like that where if you get 50 or 60% from him, that's going to mean much.
Right.
So I think that changes that Boston team. And I'm going to keep it real. If there's Boston fans out there watching right now that's going to see this, I need to keep it real with y'all. Y'all are frauds. Y'all not real. Y'all are not certified like that yet.
Let's go, Flea.
Too many times that I've seen y'all and you look suspect. There's plenty of times where I've seen y'all start people and y'all look like the best team in the league. but there's plenty times where I see y'all play down to y'all competition way too many times. I see y'all fumble the bag way too many times. Y'all allow teams to stay, get up off the mat. After you punch them in the mouth, you let them get up off the mat. And some teams you let get up off the mat, they come out swinging and punch y'all, and y'all don't get up. Right? So I don't know. Y'all have the best roster in the league. Right? Y'all do. I'm not running from that. Boston won 64 games for a reason. I got it. But there's a lot of fraudulent shit about that ball club that I think for the Knicks team that we have, the toughness that we play with, because Boston lacks toughness.
Yes.
Right? And I think Joe Mazzulla is a very smart dude, but I don't think he's a better coach than Tibbs. He's extremely smart, 100%, but I don't think he's a better coach yet. So I think we got a real good shot, and I like the matchup. I like our dogs against their dogs. I like it. Yes, some of those guys are more talented, 100, but I like our dogs against their dogs. So realistic ceiling, NBA Finals.
I'm fine with that. I ain't got the answer now. Well, listen, when Flea agrees with me, I'm good. I'm listening. You crazy? I ain't got nothing to say. Close the show, baby, before I say something to mess up the whole tape. You threw us off with that BS you talking about. Thank you, Flea. Let's go, baby.
I'm my fault. I don't know.
Flea to jump out the window with me. He don't.
I'm
Let's go, baby. Yeah.
But I felt the Celtics were frauds from the beginning. I think their work.
You already gave your take. Get out of here.
Nah, I did. I've been saying that though, but I just think
you have been.
I think I don't know. They stumble their way to the finals again, bro. I don't think it's out of pure skill from the coach and the whole team over there. I'll tell you that much.
Well, I'll just be real brief. Me, joking and playing around, but my thing is this: I've watched basketball for a long time, and when I see something special, you ride it till the wheels fall off. What Brunson is doing, what Tibbs is doing, what those Knicks, the organization, the fan base, what everybody is doing right now, I'm going to be honest. I don't see why we should lose until we get to the finals. We never was scared of Boston. All of us up here last year in the playoffs, who we all said we wanted. We want Boston.
We wanted
Miami
Boston.
had them down 0-3. So at the end of the day, it's not because I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I'm watching the game and I'm going, okay, we have a star play in the playoffs. We getting respect now, so we getting certain calls, and we're playing we're the hottest team at the right time. And to me, that's what matters.
Lightning in the bottle. If you catch lightning in the bottle for a good 2-month stretch, you don't know what can happen in the playoffs. Everybody gets his breaks. Y'all think that Golden State dynasty didn't start by what I'm saying? They thumped everybody. No, they were breaks.
Exactly.
They caught breaks throughout that first run. So, catch a little break here, catch a little break here. You never know where we're gonna catch ourselves.
Take us home, Faye.
All right, I guess you guys can log off because I had another. I was gonna find another topic where Gilbert Arenas said Jalen Brunson was too boring or something like that. But it's 7 o'clock out here, East Coast time.
I got nothing for Gil.
Yeah,
I got nothing for Gil.
I do.
I
do. He gets his 4,000 views sometimes.
I got nothing for Gil.
But no, listen, man. Fabian PerspecTV, expected so expected. Come on, it's Knicks Rehab, AllBall, we live. He's really worldwide. On the Lizzo. Hey, wish him a happy birthday if you haven't done that, fellas, ladies and gents.
Appreciate y'all.
Knicks for life, baby.
Tonight. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.